Hello and welcome to another installment of The Persistent Rumor. I am Chocolate Yoddah, spelled Y-O-D-D-A-H. It's right there on the screen under me. Just read it, man. I do that because film studios are litigious, and I don't want to get sued, man. And with me, as always, is my heterosexual life mate, Chancleta.
That's it, baby. Big sexy on the screen. How you doing?
So what's on my mind today is the persistent rumor of polite society. I'm fascinated by this idea because I don't think it actually exists. Right? I think it's an aspiration of society to operate under these so-called unwritten rules of behavior.
Right.
Where everybody just knows, you're supposed to help an old lady across the street and, open doors for ladies and things like that, whatever. You're supposed to tell the truth and you're supposed to look out for your neighbor and all this other stuff. And the reason why I'm thinking about this is because as we record this, America is experiencing a resurgence in COVID-19. And it is amazing to me. Like, it's all over. I don't even watch news, and I see stories about COVID everywhere.
Yeah.
It's on the radio as I'm driving around. If I open up YouTube, there's several videos devoted to it. So I'm not even looking for this information, and it's readily available to me.
Right. So
my presumption is that it's available to everyone, especially if you're watching television. And because I don't watch television, so I don't see commercials, I don't watch the news and all that stuff. So I don't have access to it that way, but I know a lot of people do. Right. So at this point, we can't say that nobody knows what's happening, right? I believe the majority of people know and understand, or at least are aware of the fact that there has been a pandemic happening for over a year and a half, and that now we're in essentially, 3.0 of it. And yet, with that knowledge, with the history of the last year and a half, and I'll get to that in a moment, there are people in public places, crowded public places, easy for me to say, crowded public places without masks on. And worse than that, they're there with their children who also don't have masks on.
Right.
So my question regarding, polite society is, where is it right now?
No.
Where is the society that we romanticize? But neighbor helping neighbor, and we're all in this together, and America, and my country 'tis of thee, I pledge allegiance, all that. Where is that exactly?
Not here.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I looked this up just 3 or 4 days ago, because I heard someone mention that the COVID-19 pandemic is now the third largest mass casualty effect. I think that's how they described it. The third largest mass casualty effect in American history. So let's look at numbers 1 and 2 and compare it to number 3. Number 1, HIV/AIDS. Okay. That has been around for 40 years at least.
Yeah.
Right. So at least in the public sphere, it was around for a few years before that, but it was identified and labeled right around 1981.
Yeah.
And because I remember, I was 17 and, starting to think about sex a lot. And I was like, oh, look at this shit.
Yeah.
You know, great timing.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, going back to the my original thesis about Darwinism, it is possible that God was trying to kill me through sex also. But you know, whatever.
Sure.
You didn't do it, mother. So that's 40 years to kill 700,000 people estimated.
Right.
And number 2 is the Spanish flu of 1918.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That, I believe, raged on for about 3 years or so, 3 or 4 years.
Right.
And that killed an estimated 675,000 people.
Right.
When I looked 4 days ago, COVID-19 in a year and a half, barely over a year and a half, has killed 614,000. I'm talking Americans.
That's just in America.
614,000 Americans. Yes.
Yep.
And so to me, it is clearly the deadliest because by the end of the year, it's going to be number 1.
Right.
More than likely.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason it's going to be number 1 is these fucking morons that refuse to accept that it's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, like even yesterday, I was at a healthcare facility briefly, pardon me, and there was a nurse that had her mask around her chin, and not just for a few seconds so she could take a bite of something. I mean, that's where it was. So that meant that her nose and mouth were exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is someone who literally lives COVID-19 every day.
Right.
And this chick is too stupid to protect herself.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Okay. So I don't know. I didn't ask her why, whatever, but I'm guessing that she's a Dump supporter. Or just dumb beyond all recognition. Like what are you gonna, like, what excuse are you gonna give for being a nurse that's literally dealing with COVID-19 every single day of your working life, and you're not wearing a mask on your mouth and nose?
Yeah.
Right. So those people who were out and about refuse, like, I've seen people behind counters at retail establishments. Like, you're being exposed every hour of your working day. Like, you're not wearing a mask. So tell me, what's the viral load in this space? How many people are carriers unknowingly? How many people have you dealt with today that didn't have a mask on just like you, and you're breathing each other's air and shooting spittle at each other and all that? You know, like, you're telling me that you're just willing to roll the dice? And again, not just affecting yourself. If you're just affecting yourself, I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Take all the drugs you want. Fuck all the people you want. It doesn't matter if you're just affecting yourself. But you're not just affecting yourself. Potentially, you are killing other people. And I don't watch the news, and I know this.
Right.
How is it that you don't know this? And because it's not a function of ignorance anymore. You can't tell me that people don't know. I don't care about the propaganda. Yeah, one side is saying one thing, one side is saying the other. Okay, so that's like combining something acidic and something alkaline. You wind up with something neutral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you're not neutral. You are behaving as though there is a conclusion that this thing is not really a thing.
So, like, let's go back to
what the man.
I hear you totally, but, like, you know, let me deviate for a second. Let me go back to that point where you said it's like, oh, we're not a polite society, right? And it's like, so let's say that maybe the people that have been wearing masks and gloves and doing everything to protect themselves are just fed up with the people that are just not playing ball. And then maybe now all of those people are vaccinated, because I know that everybody in my life just about is vaccinated. The only people that are not are people that are waiting because they have some sort of health concerns and things like that, but they're generally just not in crowded spaces or whatever, and they just, mask up when they need to, and etc. So that's what it is. So maybe the folks that are masking up and are vaccinated are just like, you know what, if these guys don't want to play ball, then let's just not wear a mask because we can transmit too. Let's transmit, and the faster we do this, the faster these people just fucking die off and we're done. You know? Let fucking Darwinism solve this problem.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Okay, so tell me how it doesn't.
So you're telling me that the people who are responsible enough to get vaccinated are going to walk around without masks in the hopes that they infect people who are not vaccinated?
Yeah, theoretically, yeah.
What's this theory based on?
I'm just saying, like, you know, what if that's the case? What if it's just like, you know, because I know for me, it's like I'm fed up. I hate the fact that I have to.
How would that be the case? Is what I'm trying to get.
I'm sorry,
to.
You broke up. Say that one more time.
How would that be the case? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, because there's no logic to that whatsoever.
So I'll tell you from my perspective.
You're rolling the dice that you're not going to infect someone in your family, and just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean you can't get coronavirus.
No, you're right.
It just means that you're likely not going to die, but that doesn't mean that you won't have long-term health consequences.
That's true.
Even if you survive. So where would this motivation come from? Like, I don't get what you're saying at all.
Just that, you know, it's like I'm fed up. It's like, you know, this has been going for a year and a half, and mostly because, you know, you have a large swath of people that are not cooperating.
So the end of that sentence is I'm fed up, so I'm going to take a chance of infecting myself and the people I care about.
Well, just let you know, just infecting whoever the doesn't want to get vaccinated, doesn't want to wear a mask. You know what I mean? It's
but
like,
that's
okay, cool.
But you know that's not how epidemiology works, right? I mean, that's not how that works.
Okay. So if I go to a restaurant, or if I go to a Home Depot, and you know there's a bunch of people there that aren't wearing masks, and I decide I'm not going to mask up because I'm not worried about me or whatever, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, but there's nobody. Yeah,
but why?
None of my loved ones are there.
That's the thing. But you're not following how germs work, how viruses work.
Okay, so let's.
Viruses don't just go based on your agenda, right? The virus doesn't say, oh, this guy only intends to infect unvaccinated people, so that's the only people that will infect from him.
No, I understand that, yeah. But
it doesn't sound like you do, because the theory you're putting forth is just completely illogical.
So okay, and you're right, but you know, we're not really operating on logic here. If that were the case,
but who is the we? Who are you referring to? Because my understanding is that you're saying that vaccinated people are the ones that are thinking this. So on the one hand, they have enough logic to get vaccinated, but on the other hand, they don't have any logic at all in terms of how a disease spreads.
You know, it's just kind of like wanting to fight fire with fire. You know, the thing is that it's like you start to feel helpless when it's like you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, and it's like, you know, like we're going to be in this forever the way it's going. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is just
so. Then the best thing to do is to do what the stupid people are doing,
and then do this way exactly. So let's just do what the stupid people are doing, and just like, you know,
so
and that way.
You know, so who do you know that actually thinks this way?
I'm just theorizing. I don't know anybody. Like, I'm not asking deep questions like that. Like, I'm just spitballing here, you know, and just see, like, it's like, you know, because, you know, we're not really operating on logic here. You know, there's a lot of shit that's going on.
But again, who is we? Who is we?
When I say we, it's like, I mean as a society in general. Like the unvaccinated folks are not operating.
Yeah, but you're not talking about the unvaccinated people, my friend.
I understand.
You're talking about vaccinated people.
So when you have the unvaccinated people not operating on logic, you know, it's like it might just be a thing where you just go, it, so I'm not operating on logic either if you're vaccinated. You know what I mean? It's
where in the world does that make sense? How, to whom does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to understand.
It's like, I feel,
who thinks this way?
I think it's like a fight.
Who do you know that thinks this way?
I don't know anybody specifically. I mean, I'm thinking that way now. I'm thinking that way now just to kind of like get an idea of what could be happening. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if that thought entered my mind, why can't it enter somebody else's? Right? Like, if you're fed up, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when people, if you get into a fight, and we're in a society, we love fights, right? So it's just like, oh, okay, so this person's pissing me off, and it's like, I'm gonna do some stupid shit. And you know what I mean? And it's just what it is. And like, damn it all to hell.
No. So you're leaving out by saying stupid. You know what it is. You're leaving out a lot of information. So what are you referring to exactly? So
what I'm saying is, in any fight, like, you're just saying, oh, okay, cool. Like, I want to be petty about something, right? Like, you know, I've seen people just be petty to counter somebody or something. And so it's just like, okay, so I get upset because these people aren't doing it. In the meantime, I have to be the one that's and, you know, masking up and doing the responsible thing. And it's like, oh, okay, so people get fed up about that.
So like it sounds like you are endangering your life and the life of your loved ones under the auspices of pettiness.
Yes.
And that is a bridge too far for me. That's not pettiness.
All right.
That's suicidal.
Maybe.
How is that?
Maybe, but here's the thing. But
how is endangering your life and endangering the life of your loved ones?
So let's say
pettiness?
Let's say that, you know, let's say that the vaccinated people, right, got vaccinated because they just trusted the science and it's just what it is. But they don't necessarily know about epidemiology, right? They don't know it. They just say, okay, this is what the CDC recommends. I'm gonna just trust the science.
So if they trust the science, if they trust what the CDC is saying, why would they then remove their masks?
Well, because now they feel that it's like, oh, okay, cool. If what they're hearing is, okay, now they're saying that you should put your mask back on, and you should continue moving and you should continue wearing it even after the vaccine. But now you're seeing that everybody is not wearing it and you're just sitting there going, well,
it's not everybody. It's not everybody. The parameters for this argument are all false. So that's why I'm having trouble with what you're saying. You're constructing this scenario based on nobody, and so we're spending all this time trying to figure out the motivations of an imaginary person that we don't even know exists.
Okay, fair enough. So that's the end of my argument. You know, what else am I gonna tell you? You're either gonna
tell me whatever you want to tell me. I'm trying to understand the logic of what you're saying, and I haven't found it yet. You're proposing that the people who have accepted the science enough to get vaccinated and wear masks and protect themselves and their family and strangers are suddenly going to have this tremendous departure from their logic and take their masks off in an effort to infect unvaccinated people on purpose. That's what you're proposing.
I mean, nothing else makes sense to me. No.
What do you mean? How does that make it makes sense in what context?
It makes sense that it's like, you know, people are just like tired of it, and you know, like I'm just seeing people that are.
So you're saying that the people that I'm seeing that are unmasked in public are made up of vaccinated people?
Not all of them, but some of them, yeah.
Okay, right. So again, if they trust the science, I don't get why they would be unmasked.
So if you're vaccinated and your understanding is that I'm vaccinated, so I can still catch COVID, and you understand that, but it's unlikely that I'm going to be hospitalized as a as a, consequence, right? And if you believe that, then you could believe that your family will also, because they're vaccinated, and your family and your loved ones, whatever, like, they will also be okay because they are, vaccinated. Like, I have a kid. I don't know how she's going to be affected, so I don't take those chances. She's 7 years old. I can't vaccinate her. Like, I'm always worried about her because it's like,
right.
What the fuck do we do?
But you think there's a breed of people, essentially, that somehow possesses the sensibility, awareness, and belief in science that drove them to wear their masks, quarantine, and get vaccinated. And now suddenly those same people, some percentage of those same people, are saying, you know what, I'm not going to do any of this anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't know anyone that's done it. You haven't heard of anybody that's done that.
I don't know. And even if I did,
right.
I don't know. And even if I did, it would be an extremely small sample size. I'm just going by the remarks I see on social media, what I've seen with vaccinated.
Give me an example of a remark that you've seen that supports this idea.
Oh, I've seen people just say things like, it's like, hey, I'm vaccinated, and they're going to concerts and all sorts of shit. Like, whatever, like venues with full people, they're not wearing masks. They're just like traveling. They're doing what they want to do and just continue on their merry way, just living their life and just like, I'm sick of this fucking, COVID. Like, it's what it is. So I'm seeing that and it's like, okay.
And none of that adds up to now I'm going to take my mask off in public.
But they're doing it. They're taking their mask off in public.
You just told me that you don't know anyone that has done that, buddy. I'm just listening to the words coming out of your mouth. So, I told you that I don't know anybody who's specifically thinking what I'm saying. I'm telling you that I see people that are vaccinated that have decided that, hey, I'm going everywhere and taking my mask off. In some cases, I have too. I've gone places. So then when I asked that question earlier, then yes would have been the answer. Okay. So,
I thought we were talking about two different things.
You're saying that you have seen people online say specifically that, because I didn't, what you're concluding is not what you said you read. You said you read someone being frustrated with people that are unmasked in public. You didn't say that they went on to say, then I'm going to take my mask off too. Okay. So how you're reaching that conclusion that they're doing that is what I don't understand. So they're voicing their frustration just like I did starting this segment. I'm voicing my frustration at these moronic f***ers who will not put their masks on. That does not, the end of that idea is, well, I'm not going to put my mask on either, because that's illogical. So since you have not seen this, I want to hear the specific comment where someone said, I'm vaccinated, I wear a mask, but because other people aren't, I'm not going to either. That's what I want to hear. Have you seen that?
That specifically, no. I have seen vaccinated people who just are now no longer masking up.
They're frustrated. Okay.
And so the conclusion I reached.
We're going in circles. So I want to, because you're telling me no, you haven't heard that, but then you followed up by saying yes, I have seen that. So I want to know exactly which one it is.
So I'm trying to be very specific, and maybe that's where my problem is. So I'm being very specific with you. You asked me, have you seen? No,
that's exactly what I want you to be, as specific. So here's my specific question.
Yeah.
Do you know of anyone, whether you know them in real life or you read a comment online, where they have said that in response to unvaccinated people not wearing their masks, I'm not going to wear a mask either?
So that's what I'm explaining. I haven't heard anyone say that specifically.
Okay, but you just said that you did, though.
But I have seen people do those things specifically. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
what do you mean? What do you mean you've seen? You can't. No. You can't say that. You can't say that you've seen them do it, because if you see someone walking around without a mask, there is no way that you know what's in their head as to why they're walking around without a mask. So you haven't seen
that's
anything.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is these are the actions that are happening. People are getting vaccinated and then not wearing their mask anymore.
Which people? Where? Again, I have to stop you because you're speaking in a circular way that's not adding up. Okay. So I want a very simple answer to a very simple question. Who are these people that are vaccinated and have stated that they are not wearing masks because other people are not wearing masks? Where have you seen that?
This is what I'm trying to. This is why we keep going back and forth. I'm not talking about people that are.
No. Please answer my question because this will help us with clarity. Where have you seen that?
I have not seen that specifically.
Okay, but you said you did. Just a few seconds ago,
what I'm telling you is,
said this is what I'm seeing.
What I am seeing are people that are vaccinated, right? That are no longer wearing their mask in public.
Okay, but I just asked you if you were seeing that. So this is why I'm confused because I'm asking you if this is what you're seeing.
You just asked me if somebody stated that online. That's what you asked me. You asked me if someone stated that.
I said it. Right. So the people that you're seeing, you're walking up to them and asking them why they don't have a mask on?
No, these are just people that I know in my life. These are people that I know in my life. Okay.
So I asked if you knew anyone that was doing this earlier. You said no, but now you're saying that there is. Okay, go ahead. Well,
because we keep going back and forth between stating and doing. That's what I'm clarifying.
Okay, no. That's what you're doing. I'm asking you a very simple question. So, because I did ask you this question earlier, and you said no.
So I answered.
So let me try again.
Okay.
I want to get because right now you know what you mean, but I don't. So I need to ask you a question so that I can try to understand what you mean.
Shoot it.
Okay. So what you just said was that there are people in your life. And please correct me if I'm not stating this right. This is my understanding of what you just said. There are people in your life that are vaccinated.
Yes.
That have decided that they don't want to wear masks because other people that are unvaccinated are not wearing masks.
So they have decided not to wear their mask. What their decision behind it is I don't know. I am speculating why it's happening.
Okay.
That's it.
Not to name names, but I mean, so you're telling me that there are people that you know, because again, I did ask this question earlier, and maybe you didn't understand the question, so that might be I asked it incorrectly, but so you're telling me that you know people personally that have made the decision that they as vaccinated people have decided that they are not going to wear their mask in public.
That's correct.
Okay. So they're fucking idiots.
There's idiots everywhere. We're not excluding.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
But those people that you're describing, whoever they are, and I'm sorry if they're people that are very close to you, they're fucking idiots.
It's fine. It's what it is. You know what I mean? It's like,
I have a hard time believing that this is specifically the case because this line of question, I don't see why it was as difficult as it was. So I have a hard time believing that those people actually exist.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but it that's the case, and I think it's because you get vaccinated and people just feel like, well, I might catch COVID, but I'm not going to die from it. So I'm cool. Right. And that's what the rationale must be. Because I know for many people have gone back to work. I've gone back to work. And in my office, for a little while, we had this policy where it was like, oh, if you're vaccinated, you got to show us your vaccination card and you get a sticker and you don't have to wear a mask in the office. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess whatever. So I was just like, all right, well, I'm not going to wear my mask in the office now. Then the resurgence.
That makes no sense.
I understand. I understand that, but you know what? It's just like, oh, we're everybody started to get vaccinated in the office, and all of a sudden the resurgence came back, and then like the numbers weren't picking up as far as vaccination was concerned, and we were just like, okay, well, we're gonna have to start wearing masks in the office again, and now we're wearing masks in the office again. So that's what's happening now. You know what I mean? It's not like everybody's operating on logic, and then that's what I was originally stating. And listen, I'm not the most concise person when I speak, you know what I mean, all the time, especially when I'm just like, I'm ill prepared or whatever the fuck it is. This was just something that was on your mind, and you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm trying to make sense of this whole shit. It's not like I haven't gone to, to a venue where there were people and not wear, and I just didn't wear a mask. I was just like, what, it, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, generally speaking, my experience is that it seems to be about 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do a head count, but just visually, it seems like I walk into a public space that's crowded, because I'm in convenience stores constantly, right? So, there'll be 50, 100 people in this one space, and about half of them don't have masks on, and I noticed that there's a difference between businesses. In some businesses, everyone on the staff has a mask, because if you're in retail and you're being exposed to people all day, not wearing a mask is tantamount to attempted suicide.
It's tantamount to, in my opinion. It's tantamount to what?
Attempted suicide. I
hear you. Yeah. Listen, yeah. I walk into a few days a week, at least,
which I'll bleep out. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll walk into a service station, and I'll pick up coffee. I'll grab some like a bagel sandwich or something.
Some Sudafed, some gasoline. Yeah.
Yeah. The typical stuff. You know what I mean? Like, the grocery list in the morning. So, and there's the majority of people are not wearing a mask.
Hold on. I just got what you said. The grocery list. That's actually fucking hilarious.
Great. I'm glad you like it. And anyway, I'm walking into.
By the way, I don't like your tone right now. I don't like your fucking tone.
I'll work on it. Shut up. So here we go. So I walk into this place, and the majority of people are just not, masked up. And there's everything from construction workers to police to just, regular 9-to-5 working people. And it's early in the morning, and people are making their coffee, and we're all congregated around the coffee station, and everybody's preparing their coffee. And I'm not going to say that I wear my mask every time. I wear my mask sometimes. I do. But
what is that based on, though? What is the calculation?
Not giving
in your head?
Not giving a fuck anymore. That's what that calculation is about. It's just so
all this time you've been talking about yourself.
Well, yeah, partially. I mean, I've taken a position now where I'm wearing my mask everywhere now, because it's just enough. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's getting crazy.
But what led you to that conclusion?
What led me to which conclusion? To mask up again?
That you're wearing your mask everywhere. Yeah.
Well, because it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like this resurgence is serious, and people are just, ICU beds are fucking being taken up, and it's like, now we have this Delta variant, we have a Delta Plus variant. And if we keep doing this shit, then what's going to happen is we're going to get more variants, and they're going to be more resistant to shit. And eventually they'll be resistant to the fucking vaccine. And then we need another vaccine. And, and all this other shit. And it's just like, just do your part, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, stop it with this that they're going to microchip you or whatever. And, and part of it is just, what the fuck, man? Like, it's just do the thing. Because this was supposed to be a thing where, it started and it was like, everybody just, isolate for, 2 weeks and we'll be good to go. And here we are a year and a half, and it's just,
which, by the way, if you remember last year in March, when the order for the lockdown came, I told you there is absolutely no way this is going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I got you, Negro Domus. Everything's fine.
No, it's not because I'm a genius. It's not because I can tell the future. It's that I can respect history.
Yeah.
And I respect the reality of the way things work. And I also respect the fact that governments lie to people.
Yeah.
You know?
It's what it is. It's, you know, and so here we are. And it's just like, holy shit. And now it's like another school year starts and probably going to be doing more homeschooling. And this is like a burden on a lot of folks. Like, you know, in my case, it's like, you know, listen, you know, I'm grateful because I have a wife who is just amazing, like doing the homeschooling with my kid and everything. But there's a lot of couples here that like, mom has to work. Mom has to do all of these things. Like my wife doesn't have to work, you know? So I'm grateful that she can dedicate that time to do that, you know, and for a little while she was going to school and they had to mask up and, you know, they would do this thing where they would go to school and, you know, for a half day and then do the rest, you know, at home, you know, but it's, you know, it's a problem for everybody. It's a problem for teachers. It's a problem, you know, it's a lot of, there's a lot of things that are happening, you know? And now you have these...
I blame stupidity, man. Ultimately, I blame the fact that we allow stupid people to breed.
You know what I blame?
We covered this in a podcast that we haven't aired yet, but I really want to address the problem with stupid people.
Man, listen, you want to know, you know, I think it's not just stupid. I think it's just people just don't want to be inconvenienced at all over anything. I mean, like, which is stupid in my opinion. No, you're right.
You know, if you can't be inconvenienced for self-preservation, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah, no,
okay? Because this is what it comes down to. This is an organism, and unfortunately we're running out of time, but this is an organism that doesn't have the fucking sense of an amoeba, okay? Just about every organism on planet Earth, including fucking plants, do what they can to preserve themselves. That's why plants secrete different things that make them unappealing to fucking insects, is because they're trying to live.
Right.
Okay. And you're telling me that Bubba doesn't have the sense of a daisy? I mean, holy shit. Anyway, this is a good place to stop for now. Hey, if anybody has any doubt that these conversations are genuine, you just saw a great example of how we talk about things. And, you know, even if it gets heated, you know, we never go at each other. We'll go at each other's ideas, but we never go at each other. No ad hominem attacks here. You know, I love you madly, my giant friend.
But I think that's a great example of how people should be arguing. It was like, you know, like if I think it's fine to debate.
It's a debate.
Things.
It's not an argument. It's just a debate.
But even if it is,
you and I have been willing to debate for forever. So
yeah, and you know, but that's what it is. It's like, you know, like just workshop. Like, you know, there's a lot of times where you know, like my this idea that I had was not fully baked. This was something that was just starting to generate in my mind, you know, like as you spoke about it. And I said, what could that be about? Yeah. And so let me throw this at the wind. And
no, it's great because, you know, the fact is that, you know, every theory has merit until it doesn't, right? So the theory that you put out, I have to put in the realm of possibility. I don't see it as probable. I don't see it as likely, but because of the aforementioned dumb fucks that are running around the world, it is definitely possible.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it's like, hey, you know, but more on this the next time, baby. We might talk about Ronald Reagan. Right. We might talk about shaving. Who knows? But stay tuned.
Who knows? And you know what? Those are not mutually exclusive topics.
That's true. Indeed, sir.
Peace, love, and granola, everybody.
All right.
Take care.
Ciao, bacalao.